All right, welcome everyone to a regular podcast episode, live edition with me and Sinzar. Hey, Sinzar.
What is up? You're
Hard dicks and helicopters. Yes, fucking nailed it. All right,
oh
finally, my chance. I did not miss the chance. Also, like it's weird. I kind of regret not starting recording earlier because we were just talking about wiping asses and the wiki, and I think it was a good talk. But I think also we need to move on because you have a trial to defeat in JP, right?
one just came out, like the servers just came up, so yes, I have
Yes,
no
I'm
idea.
keeping you from that. So I promise we're gonna be fast. We're gonna be fast. But say we're gonna be just going over the units quickly, and then you're gonna help me a bit because I am shit at DV and I need assistance. So let's get into it. We already talked about the units a bit, right? Fledgling Warrior
On,
and Marilith.
yeah, on the news day, we for the most part covered them, but
Yeah.
there has been some new developments though about
Ooh.
the Fledgling Warrior.
Oh wow. I have no idea about this, and I shittered him yesterday like a true shitter. So please tell me.
Oh well, this is bad news though.
Oh god,
As it
fucking damn it! I was hoping for a buff.
as it turns out, the JP server coded his LB damage buff very strangely, and because of that, it is incompatible entirely with global exclusive LB boosters, LB buffs, LB
What?
users. I'm sorry. Anything that involves morale is
Oh.
disqualified from Fledgling Warriors buffs.
I heard this
Oliveira's,
rumor, but they have to
yeah,
fix this. Like they have to fix. Like Sinzar, if you have connections at Gumi, you have to talk to them. Like they have to fix this. This is that's horrible.
I mean, it's super dumb. It's either an oversight, either they don't realize it. I don't know, but it is. It seems like it shouldn't work this way, but it does. It just doesn't even work at all with anything involving morale, which is like all our global exclusive
Yeah,
units.
exactly.
And
I mean,
yeah,
Sky
and
would
it's
love his buffs, right? Like she would even double dip into them.
mhm.
And
Now
wow,
it does work partially on Sky because Sky's LB is two parts, and it's part regular LB and part morale scaling LB. It does work on the regular part, so Sky gets a partial bonus from
okay.
Warrior Flight.
Yeah,
But
but she
someone
would double
like
dip otherwise, right? Like, and then Lara
yes,
gets nothing because yeah,
Laura gets nothing, Friavia gets nothing, Oliveira gets nothing,
yeah.
Ibarra gets nothing, etc. All the
Nah,
global LB units just get nothing, except for Sky gets a small part.
huge shame. Honestly, huge shame. I really hope Gumi picks up on this because I think also that would make Warrior, like Fledgling Warrior of Light, such a much more exciting unit. He would not be just another excellent physical tank, right? Which he is today. Is like there are some niches, but if he also had the niche of you can bring him to cow when you need a physical tank anyway, and kind of just like Esther, he would be able to, I don't know, justify his spot on the team, even though he doesn't really have morale scaling because he would improve the other units on your team. Whereas Esther justifies her lack by doing some morale buffs and also doing decent damage, right?
Now that being said, Esther does get the full bonus because her LB has no morale. As it turns out, that's a good thing in this scenario.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's still gonna be good, but the thing is, you're not gonna be bringing this unit for DV. You did some quick napkin math right on the news day. Like, it's not really worth bringing him for DV because you don't need a tank, and like the buff is not that big that even applied across 5 units, it's not good better than bringing a damage dealer in that slot. Like if you have a free slot. So I don't know. It's maybe it's nicer for us plebs when we want to do a turn 12 clear. It's nice to have like a evade provoke tank or something. Maybe makes going to turn 12 easier. But otherwise, I felt like his big time to shine would be in cow as an LB buffer for your other DPS units and as a tank because in cow we need tanks.
hmm Would be nice, but it
I
doesn't
hope
work.
I hope Gumi listens because that would be fucking amazing. That would honestly be amazing if they fix that. But it's probably like I'm guessing like it's maybe even locked to coding or something, whereas his buff like can't be fixed without code change, and then I'm not as hopeful. But if it's not fixed to a code change and it's just a data change, they should definitely do that. Definitely.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, so just quickly about his kit. So we already mentioned it. He has some support stuff in his kit. He has some elemental resistances. He has some defense and spirit buffs. The basic stuff you would expect from a tank, a barrier. Uh, you know. All the good stuff you would want. He also has a nice offensive break. That's nice to have in a tank. You don't have to bring an offensive breaker if the boss can't be defensive broken. Not sure if that's a thing. Like, is that a thing on any of the future trials where they can't be offensively broken?
No, no. All trials going forward can be full broken, all stats.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Then it's not as useful. And then, of course, we've already talked about it, but he has the ability to increase LB mods. So it's not an LB buff. It increases the mod of limit burst abilities that are non-morale, I guess, non-morale scaling. How does he do that? Like, where is this ability?
In his shift form, his cooldown, it's only available on turn 4.
Right. And increases 30x for 2 turns, meaning this turn and next turn. So that's nice. You don't have to burst on the turn he buffs, right?
Yeah, it's set up for the next turn because he can also contribute with his own LB buff, his own LB during the burst turn.
Ah, right, because next turn he gets a 60x modifier for his own LB. Oh, okay. It was a bit weirdly worded here. But yeah, okay, I see it.
Now, something I'm not entirely sure if it qualifies, but I think he gets 90x because he qualifies for the caster only version as well as the defense scaling version.
Okay.
So they should both apply to him. I don't know
nice.
if they really do, but I think they do. I think he gets 90x boost to LB.
Also, why the fuck has nobody told me that he actually buffs evokers? Like, does this stack with Braska and Yuna and Yuna's STMR?
It should.
Oh my god. I am so happy I pulled this unit because this is going to make my evoker team even better. All right, let's go. This is fucking amazing. But yeah, I mean, he's a good tank. He's a good hand. Has some support, but definitely they should fix this LB stuff. Like, I really wanted to work on morale abilities. That would make it so much better, honestly. Okay, but let's move on. Did I forget something, Sinzar? That's basically it about the unit, right?
Pretty much. I guess you could mention that he does have really, really high racial mitigations to 4 races, which could be relevant.
4 races? Oh.
Aquatic, Demon, Dragon, and Reaper. Yes. 75% racial mit to all of those for the whole party.
Oh wow! So he's going to be very bulky and make your party very bulky if you end up with one of these trials or one of these enemy types, right?
Correct.
Oh, that's very nice. That might come very much in handy for some of the tougher cows we've seen, where your tank takes a fucking beating and a half. And this is general mitigation, right? For the racial mitigations, right?
No, racial mitigation. Racial mitigation is its own type that's stacked with all the other mitigations. That's another
I was
layer.
just quickly confused and thought there was a physical and magical form of racial mitigation too, but there isn't, right? It's just both damage types.
Oh no. The racial is the category.
Okay. All right, gotcha. Okay. Well, yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, he's bulky, and again, it's hard to be excited for just a tank, right? Because we have so many good tanks. We have Maeve, we have Esther, we have, well, I don't want to mention Mont, but sure, Mont. I mean, even older units like Behemi still do this work amazingly, right? And Afmao. So it's hard to be excited, but I was super excited about his LB buff, and now I'm super excited about his Evoke buff. Like, holy shit, okay. Wait, do those stack for like...
what do you mean?
So he buffs both LBs and Evoke, right? So would both stack on Terra? Like, would she both get the 30x?
Well, no, because Terra's LB is not magic type; it's Evoke type.
Oh so shit! Yeah. So Evoke gets 15x. Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Nice. But that's nice. That's a small increase to making evokers viable again, and I love evokers, so that's fantastic. Okay, so let's talk about the next unit then. Marilith, you already told us in the Newsday how she's pretty cool on making Vivi OP in a way. Well, maybe not OP, but strong, where he can reflect Fira, right? Like it's no longer Firaga.
Yes, her proof is only to the Fira, the like level 2 fire magic.
Right, right. Which is now Brave. Wait. Now Bolting Strike frames, right?
Yes, it's bolting strikes across the entire game. All the level 2 magics are now bolting strike.
Yeah. So that was not the case for me when I was doing DV. Did they patch that? Because I was doing DV and I was trying to do some fix my chaining, and was adding Fyra and these abilities to my units, but they did not have Bolting Strike chains. So
In DV, if you're using them in DV, you're probably getting canceled because they're AOE.
no. I mean, or at least I did not test them, but in the UI they do not have the BS tag. Like Darkra had it
Oh,
from like Anima. If you equip Anima on a unit and you have Darkra, Darkra has the BS tag on it. But like
yeah.
Fyra, Watera, and so on do not.
I don't know. I haven't actually used it since the patch, so
Okay.
couldn't
Oh, but
say.
then it probably works, but just isn't visible. Like there are other abilities that just don't have the chain tag on it.
Like the flood from Leviathan that I've been asking to be fixed for 5 years now.
Exactly. So it's probably that. I just never tested it. I just solved it in another way. I went CWA instead. But yeah. Okay. All right. Interesting. So Marilith, pretty cool on that. Is there something else about her kit that we should mention? Like she's a decent brave shift, or sorry, decent SLB burster as well, right? Like there's a 300x burst of her own.
Yeah, for now all she can use is her SLB. In the like distant future, when they finally fix the AoE bug, it's fixed in JP, so Global will get it eventually. When that's finally fixed, she can actually use her Fyra spells as well, like VV.
Right. Yeah, VV kind of is helped by the fact that a reflected spell becomes single target, right? And then
Yes.
or something.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So that's going to be, I guess, good. I did not shitter one of her. I would really love to, because I love the feeling of making my VV OP. But really good. Yeah, and nothing really much. I'm looking at her kit. I don't really see anything standing out otherwise. She's very bare bones, like a simple damage dealer.
Yeah, pretty much all she does.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so we've talked about those two. Now, what about this week's boss rush? Is it difficult?
Not really. I actually went back and did like on the my first day. I did like just a team I threw together. I figured it was like super budget run kind of, but it used Roberta, and apparently Roberta is too new and no one has her. So
oh, now you're getting that hate. Okay.
yeah, so I actually went back and re-cleared it with like Pause, the terrible garbage unit Pause, and she still like 3-turned all the bosses with a budget run. So yeah. It's real easy.
I was surprised by how squishy it was. So I used Roberta myself just because it was easy to build a 4-man team around Roberta, and she like destroyed the bosses like almost in one turn. Some of them, right? Like so it was. I was surprised. I was setting up for Tiamat, and I'm not sure I even needed to. Like I was doing Roberta's LB, and then I was unlocking her quadcast, and then she just destroyed the boss in a single turn. So I don't know. Like it's a bit squishy.
Yeah, my first run, the same thing. I started on Lich, and I did like all the setup, and then I like super overkilled the Lich. I'm like, why am I even doing all this setup? And I just went like for the wave 2, 3, and 4. I just like went straight into it.
Yeah. No, I had the same epiphany. That was interesting. So it is pretty easy. Like it seems like you just need some fire resistance and a tank that is a provoke evader, right? Basically.
Pretty much. Some of the bosses do have accuracy, so you're going to want to use mitigation even with evasion, unless you're using like an accuracy down unit. Then I think you should be fine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it's quite easy. Like I'm almost thinking like Behemi with like or any good physical tank with a heart or other auto heal counters would probably be able to like solo do it. And then Roberta is so self-sustained, she can probably do it herself. So there's probably a 2-unit clear that's pretty easy to do if you're using Obsidian Bracer.
Mm-hmm.
Probably. I was actually using Louise for so I was using 80% breaks. But yeah, worked out pretty fine. Roberta was still overkilling everything. I love Roberta. She's so good. So it's fire, and there's another element. Is it water, light?
I think they're all weak to light element. That's actually what I used, is light element.
Yeah, I used fire. Like I'm just brute forcing this. I'm pretty sure it was fire and light. I'm pretty sure it says fire and light, at least on the little info that the Moogle gives you before you go into the trial.
Okay, nice.
So that could be, but that could be just true for Tiamat because it only shows Tiamat in that like info section. So maybe the others are not weak to fire. But I mean, Roberta fucking destroyed them, so it doesn't matter. The only thing that was a bit weird, and maybe I'm misunderstanding something about mechanics. So this trial puts up a big defense field, right? As it starts. So all the
Oh,
bosses have big defense, but I could not I could not replace that field with, at least not with Louise's field. But that's maybe because it's only one side.
no, it's a quest field. There's three fields. There's the enemy side, the player side, and then the battlefield. If a field is ever in the middle of the screen, that's like a quest field, and you can never replace it or modify it. It's a permanently active on the stage at all times, and
Ah,
it stacks with everything.
right. So it makes it a bit harder to do with physical units, I guess. Right. I didn't really try a physical unit, but I would it be doable with a physical unit?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You can probably turn one OTK with like Knights of Grand Shout and all that.
Oh wow. Okay. So it doesn't really matter they're putting up this field. I thought it was
Well,
going to be a thing.
I mean, I would assume they do have lower spirit because of that field, but it's just the usual problem here. Like physical units are so much stronger that they can just overcome higher defense.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. All right, not much to think about there. Then I guess it's quite easy. So anyone should be able to go in there and get the rewards, and they're nice. They helped me get my Fledgling Warrior of Light because those 3K was enough for the first step of his banner, so that was good. Um, okay, so Sinzar, listen, I have a problem. My problem is I suck at DV, and I heard that you do not suck at DV. So I would really like your help in figuring out how I can improve my current team in DV. Does that
Well,
can you do that?
well, I used to not suck in DV, but I do now with the new changes to DV.
Oh, why?
Oh, because they changed it to where you have to be a whale to even like play DV anymore, or play it at like a high level, I should say.
Well,
Yeah,
you mean with a huge like cap limit, or
yeah, the way they increase the bulk and the cap on all the final stages, including the sub bosses, yeah, they just basically moved it out of reach of players like myself.
sure, sure. And I mean, like we've talked about this before, Sinzar. I think that like at some point, I think both you and me were fine with the highest ranks being restricted for, or being reserved for people that pull everything, right? Although
Well,
I know that it was fun, or
well,
I
yeah.
seem to remember you still liked the fact that multiple people could cap because that made it a goal, right? Like you had something to aim for.
Well, it's fine on the final boss, like that's whatever. But making it to where like literally all three of the bosses are uncappable is just BS. It's total
Yeah,
BS in my opinion.
it does remove a nice goal to work towards, right? Like to optimize your team towards. It becomes more of a race, chasing just a high score, and that's I'm gonna be honest. I don't think that's as satisfying myself.
Yeah, for me, like I have not been back to DB since literally the first day. I have not touched it, whatever. And the funny thing is, I'm still the top 100. Now, this is, I guess, because like the whales haven't come out to play yet because they wait till Wednesday night or something.
Yeah.
I don't
For
know,
some reason. I
but
don't know why. But probably because they don't want anyone copying their strats, I guess, and stuff like that. But
yeah. But like my day one low effort clear on Thursday of last week is still holding. Like I think I'm like rank 85 right now or something.
nice. Nice. Well, I mean, I still want to say you are like leagues above me when it comes to DV. So, and that's like, I'm looking for that help. I know I'll never be, robot or wanderer or somebody that like takes this super seriously, but I would like to be a bit better. So like I was looking at your video and I'm like, okay, Sinzar fucking did 9 billion, and I was super happy with my 3.5 billion team, and then I like my hopes got crushed.
So how can I help you improve your score though?
Well, so I'm a bit fucked here because most of my really good strong units are actually not LB damagers. So I have, Roberta and Graf. They are not viable. And Graf is my level 130 unit too. So I'm a bit screwed. So I'm gonna tell you my lineup was so I use Squall and Tyvus because they are
Mhm.
obviously, LB damagers and fire is fine, I guess.
So we're talking about Dark Odin. Sounds like.
Yeah, exactly. Dark Odin, Dark Odin. That's the one I'm wondering about. So I use Squall and Tybus, and I was hoping, Tybus imperils greatsword, so that's nice for Squall too. And then I really didn't have anything else to put in the team, so I just put in Sephiroth. I thought he was self-sufficient enough, and I used Louise for the field and all the stuff, all the fire support that she does. I used Ling for the human killer, and of course Lara for the breaks. And my clear sucked. As I told you, like it was 3.5 billion, and I think my Sephiroth only did like 0.8, which really
All right.
surprised me because he was like much lower than the others.
Well, first of all, if you have Laura, definitely kick Ling out of the party and bring Zahn instead. That would just give you way higher killers.
Oh, Lara has 200 human killer, right?
200 human and beast on the same skill.
Oh shit, I completely forgot about that. Yeah, that's true actually. Because like the boss is a bit tricky, so what I'm doing is I'm using Ling to take no damage. So what I'm doing is I'm using Ling to on the first static attack put up her Magnus that makes her take exactly 5k damage. And then on the next turn, which is also a static attack as I understand it, I use her LB. That gives her a 5-stack Mirage, which is exactly enough to escape that.
So your team, real quick, tell me it was Louise,
Lara, Ling, and then damage dealers were Squall, Tybus, and Sephiroth.
All right, and Sephiroth.
And I was like, I guess, like, of course, Sephiroth doesn't get a field, so he did less damage, but he was doing so much less. Maybe it was just a poor variance roll too, because like Squall was clocking in at like 1.3 billion, I think, or 1.25 or something. And Sephiroth was doing 0.8. That really surprised me. I thought like for sure he was going to do more damage.
So one big swap I would say is get rid of Louise and bring Roberta instead. Now, yes, you will lose the field, but you'll get a better amplify, which mostly evens it out. And Roberta can do other things like 300%. You do have Roberta, right? I think you did.
Oh yeah. Of course I have Roberta. Yeah, you're absolutely right. How did I not think of that? She's actually gonna buff LBs much harder. That's an amazing suggestion, actually.
Mm-hmm. And then swap Ling for Zahn. As far as dealing with that thing,
because it is 2 physical hits, right? It's on turn 3 and turn 4. You get smacked in the face with a 20,000 damage. Fixed damage, right?
It's on turn 2. It's on even turns in phase 1. So turn 2, and the next one would be on turn 4. But you shouldn't see the turn 4 one because you want to aim for pushing the turn 4 threshold to skip all that. Because the boss also dispels you on turn 4. Right. So you only got to deal with the one on turn 2. You could Golem. Golem is 70% mitigation. So let's see here. So 20,000 times 0.3. That would be 6,000. Still too much damage. We have to fit in some general mitigation as well. Do you own a copy of Saintly Castle?
Wait, but how many Mirage stacks doesn't like Roberta have 5 Mirage stacks on her support from the skies?
She does, but according to the AI, the boss dispels Mirage. Are you saying that's not the case?
Yeah, so that's, I was a bit confused. I was reading the post in the wiki channel in the big Discord, and I saw that. So first of all, there it actually sounded like the boss was going to hit me on turn 3 as well with a fixed attack. So that's why I used a 5-stack Mirage. But maybe my Mirage didn't work because the boss actually just didn't hit me on turn 3.
No, yeah. The post on Reddit says turn 3, the boss does it. That's actually a typo or just an incorrect. It only does it on even turns.
So turn 2 is the one. Yeah, okay. So then I don't know, because it does say, but it seems like it's dispelling Mirage after that, but maybe it is doing it before, and then 5-stack won't work.
Okay, so do you have a way to make Tyvis your provoker without like killing his damage on that turn? Which Esper is Tyvis on?
I mean, he could wear the crown.
Well, you don't want to do that. Is he on Golem or Ifrit? Probably not Ifrit because he already has high beast killer.
Yeah.
You could cast provoke because Tyvis has 3 turns of 90% mitigation.
Exactly. That would definitely work. Yeah. So maybe I can think about it. Making him the provoker would actually be really good, because then then Zon has a role in the team. Otherwise, like, what's the value of Protectka +2? That's 50%? No, 30?
Well, +2, but no one on this party has +2 that I'm
Ah,
seeing.
fuck. Yeah.
But you
Um,
could do the regular protect, which is a 30% physical mitigation. But
oh,
it's
wait,
better.
hold on. Isn't like Golem is 70% physical, right?
Yes.
But
So
isn't the
Golem,
the materia we have a materia, right, that does like 20% or 30% general?
you can actually do 40% targeted general mitigation with um, Orin's TMR, the
Oh,
4-star.
yes, that's true. That's true. The sky something something. Yes, right. So I could have Zon use that on Tyvus on turn 2. Sorry, not on Tyvus. I could use that on Zon, for instance. So Zon could still be my provoker in that case, as
Yeah.
well as
So that's
Golem.
plus Golem. So that would reduce that to 3,600 damage. You're good. That would make you
Nice.
no point loss.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, that was so lucky that like Ling's Grandis was exactly enough to take it down to 5k. That was pretty cool. Okay, so cool. That is solved. I'm gonna swap in Roberta instead of Louise. That's gonna be probably a damage increase. Sephiroth is still suffering a bit. I don't know why he's doing low damage. Maybe I'm just having shit rolls with him. Because like
What's his killers like?
I mean it's Sephiroth. Like doesn't he like I seem to remember he gets like 300 easy for human killer, right?
For human, and if you give him Tifa's card, that'll be 100 more Beast Killer, and stick him on Ifrit, that'd be
Okay,
225.
okay. Hold on. So let's now talk about how dumb I am. I thought Odin was only human.
Oh no, it's Beast Human. It's both.
Oh, well, that would definitely explain some of the lack of damage my units are doing, because they are not fucking geared for beast killers. Okay.
Oh,
All right. Well,
that
that would probably explain why Squall is doing more, though, because I think, doesn't Squall have, like, innate beast or something
uh,
than stuff?
he's got like a bunch of killers. I'm pretty sure he does have Beast as I think he has Beast and Human actually. I
Yeah,
think.
exactly. So that's probably the big reason. And I don't know why Tybus is doing it, but probably, like, he got some beast in there. Okay.
Tyvus Tyvus has 300% Beast Killer like while naked. I think he has
Oh,
he has total Beast Killer.
so then that definitely explains why Sephiroth was sucking. Okay, but that's easy fix. That's an easy fix. I can make Sephiroth do a lot more, and I mean the others too. Especially as you mentioned, also Lara with Zon is 200 for both, right?
Yes.
So that's amazing. That's going to be a huge damage increase for me. Actually, I'm definitely going to try that. I'm definitely going to try that.
Oh, and now I'm remembering. Yeah, I kind of forgot because I haven't touched DV since day one. I just never bothered to go back. Yeah, I actually remember now. A big problem. Well, yeah, is Laura doesn't really have time to stack up and
Yeah.
do her killer thing if you're doing a 5-turn clear. So you would have to, if you want to like really try hard, you would have to push the threshold on like turn 4 and then just stall in phase 2 as you stack her up, which is
Well, but
certainly
wait.
doable.
How long does her killer last?
Well, if you steal it with Zon permanent.
Right. So then it's not a problem, right? You would just like do killers turn 1, and
Yeah,
you have an
the
ample time to refill her breaks, right? Oh, you're talking about probably bursting with her LB too, right?
yeah. Well, the thing is, in phase 2, the boss spams a bunch of dark damage, so you would need your whole party immune to dark damage to not just slowly whittle down your.
But that I already am. Like everyone wears 30%, and then I'm using. I don't know who is using. I think it's Lara using the.
Anima.
Sorry, what was the name?
Anima.
Anima.
The
Yeah, that was
anima.
what I was looking for. Yeah, the Anima buff, the 70% buff. So that's what I'm doing. So that's fine.
So where are your killer espers then? Because you've got Golem on someone, you've got Anima on someone, you've got
Yeah,
like
that's gonna. Well, I mean, I'm gonna have Golem on Zon. Yeah, probably on Zon, right? Like Zon is gonna be tanking. So, Anima on Louise probably. But I mean, there's only well, he's human, and so that there's like Asura, there is Diabolos, and then of course there's Ifrit. So there are a couple, and I mean, it sounds like Sephiroth should be on Ifrit because Squall and Tyvus definitely have it well with
yeah.
Beast
So
Killers.
Tyvus probably wants Diablos, Squall probably wants Bahamut. So if Zon's on Golem and Laura's on Anima, that leaves Roberta. Roberta's not dealing much damage anyway, and I assume Roberta's going to be your tag chainer for the kill turn.
Yeah, exactly. That's definitely gonna be the case. What I did was in my run, since Lara wasn't doing any damage, I was actually chaining Lara and Lara and Ling using Ling's triple SR was what I was doing. So, but if I have Roberta, that's not a problem because then Lara could actually contribute with some damage of her own.
Nice, nice. Yep, that'll work.
Oh, but that's going to make a huge difference to my team. So first of all, I need to stop sucking at this game and understand that there's another killer. But also, like these changes are gonna make my run a lot smoother, actually, especially with enabling Zon to be my tank.
And like Resonant says in the chat too, if you actually can push the threshold by turn 2, you can skip that whole fixed damage attack entirely and just not even have to deal with it. You can totally bypass it.
Right.
But
right.
that being said, it is pretty hard to push 50% on turn 2.
Yeah.
The boss is relatively bulky. I guess it wouldn't be that hard to get all your breaks on turn 1. I guess you could do it.
Yeah, I mean, like you could in fact just delay. Like, I mean, Tyvus's non SLB is not that strong, but like, and same with Squall. But like, you're getting Sephiroth, Squall, and Tyvus in there. Like, they should do 50%.
Yeah,
because I can just stagger Sephiroth. Sephiroth doesn't have to do his first LB on turn 1. He can just do it on turn 2 instead. And there's I might try that actually. I might try that just to skip the whole physical or the fixed damage part, and then I just have to have 100% dark resist, right?
Mm-hmm.
And prepare for the dispel on turn 4. So I did kill turn 4 in my team, so I did not have to manage the dispel. So that's also going to be new for me to have to manage the dispel that happens.
Based on the skill set on Reddit, Odin does have a Dark Imperil in his kit. I have no idea when he uses it.
Oh.
I just didn't stall in the fight. So one of y'all in chat, do y'all know that have gone like long clears and sub 50? Does the boss ever use that Dark Imperil? Anyone? No?
I mean, one thing I could do is like if I have this set up for Zon, I can still just try to kill on turn 4. Does not give Lara enough time to amp, sure, but like it's gonna be at least twice the damage I'm doing today with this new setup.
Nice.
So yeah, I don't think yeah, cause Esther tanks everything was a comment in chat. Yeah, I don't fucking have Esther. Okay, so I can't.
Oh, so if someone else is provoking while Esther's covering, then the other person gets the Imperil and Esther would never have to deal with it. That makes sense.
Ah, okay. Of course. Yeah. Man, I am feeling the lack of Esther. I really am. I'm happy for everyone that pulled her though, but I'm really feeling the lack of her. Yeah. I never pulled an Esther.
Maybe you'll get her off banner.
Yeah, maybe. Like, holy shit! Did you see my pulls yesterday? Because like, holy fuck balls, I got all the units I wanted on random EX ticket pulls. All right, I got Fryevia, I got the new Sakura, I got Renoa, and I got Fledgling. Like in one day from EX tickets. Well, actually, Fledgling was from this first step on a step up for the 3K. But like that was crazy. Like it's as if someone at Gumi pressed the button. They're like, okay, you know what? We've been shit to Bharos for a while. Like he needs some love in his life.
Pretty good. I had pretty good luck today too. I got a Lena from the daily Dark Vision login tickets. It's kind of nice.
Yeah, I was super happy with my Lena. I've used her several times in Evoker clears already. I like her. Is that field? It's extra nice, and the fact that you can combine it with Louise is mwah. It's like fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
All right, but yeah, thanks Sinzar. I think this is gonna make my clear a lot better. I'm gonna try some of these new strats tonight. See if I can stop being so fucking bad. Although, again, disclaimer, I'm really also feeling that the whales are not doing this DV yet because with my absolute shit score and my team that I didn't even gear for beast killers, I'm at like 600, which is unheard of.
Yeah, like my score should absolutely be lower at this point, but it's not yet.
That's so weird, but yeah, I'm definitely gonna improve my score. I want to have a more decent score, actually. And what are people going for the mage fight? Like, what's a good cap? What did you get there? Like, do you remember what your score was?
My personal score was 13 billion. You have to have Dark Reign and Angela to perfect score it. So yeah, I'm missing Angela. So okay. no score for me.
Well, what are the elements now again? It's like dark and
fire.
And fire, right. Okay, because I actually shitted Renoa, right? So I'm actually going to revisit that stage, try to use Renoa on it. Because, I mean, she should be at least better than anything else I have. Like, my strongest mage on that fight was Oliveira. So
Yes. Renoa is probably like the third best option, but the third best option, we're talking about like Dark Rain and Angela dealing like 7 billion. Renoa does like 2.5. So it's a huge gap.
yeah, but you know what? 2.5 would be more than my entire team right now because I did like 2 billion of that fight. So because like I think Oliveira clocked in at 1.2, and yeah, I don't remember actually what I had. I'm pretty sure I used Terra as well. But yeah, so it was funny. I did not get Marilith Resnut. I did not. I haven't done my daily yet. So like I was shittering so intensely. I would not be surprised if I actually get her on the daily. Okay, like that could absolutely happen.
Nice.
I hope so. I
But we
hope so. I'm gonna update in Discord if that does happen. Cause like then I'm definitely doing a VV team. Like fucking trusted. I'm going to do a VV team.
Well, we should probably wrap this up.
We should wrap up. We should wrap up. We've been talking far too long. Thank you so much, Sinzar, for the tips, and thanks everyone for chilling in chat.
See you next time.
See y'all.